Welcome, everyone. Hmm, hmm, I wanted to start this morning, or whatever time it is where you are, and by inviting you to tune into a story I recently saw again on social media. I saw a story about Mr. Rogers and something he did in 1969, in May of 1969, where he invited a black man. I think it was a black policeman. I could be wrong about that, but he invited him onto his show, and they both put their feet into a kiddie pool. And this was back when segregation was supposed to have been outlawed, but actually hadn't been functionally. And so what he did was to invite someone to share space with him. The and what I consider, what Gay and I consider the definition of love, is to be in the same space with. And when I saw that, I was reminded last week, for those of you who weren't on the call last week, I invited people to think of their love pool as a kiddie pool, and that you can put your feet in and splash and play and invite other people into it. And so I was just noticing what a revolutionary, quiet force love can be. And so as we're starting today, I'd like you to invent your own kiddie pool. I'd like you to imagine that you're sitting or standing in a pool that's just the right depth and just the right temperature. And I'd like you to invite anyone into that pool, particularly anyone who seems totally unlike you, or someone with whom you've had some kind of a conflict where you feel you haven't been able to be in the same space. And I'd like you to just invite that person to share, to put their feet into the pool as well, and to share love scoops with you. And for you, what I'd like you to invite into the pool are aspects of you that you've tried to put aside. So I'd like you to just imagine, I'd like you to let your attention go in to you, and I'd like you to put into the pool anything that you've tried to get rid of. Like, for a long time, I tried to get rid of my thighs. So I'm just going to bring my thighs on into the pool. Or a certain way that you get angry, that you just can't seem to stop doing. Go ahead and put that into the pool too. Remember, this is an expandable pool, so you can bring in as much as you like. And what I invite you to do is to first energetically reach down into the pool and draw up some love, and let it just wash over you. And feel that loosening and including and fluffing and smoothing roughness. I've been noticing some jangly roughness in fact, just before I got on the call, I spilled an entire glass of water over my nightstand. And so I just threw a towel over it. So if you've been noticing that kind of jangliness, go ahead and invite that into the pool. And then bring up some water and actually bring it onto your face. So bringing some love, and then noticing as that love enters you, any places that you've not been including in you, that you've not been letting yourself love. And use your touch, your awareness, and also a The also can invite love to circulate. And I'd like you to let the love that you're experiencing, I'd like you to let that we used to have a slip and slide. I don't know if they still have slip and slides, but I'd like you to let the slip and slide of your love like move out into the world so that you're kind of whooshing your love out. And then you can whoosh it back to you. So let yourself do some slip and slide or some sprinklers where you're letting your love sprinkle out into the world and then back to you. So we're kind of doing a new combination of love scoops and loop of awareness. And right now I'm doing a little of playing in the pool. I'm taking my feet and doing a little splashing in the pool and then feeling that love kind of come up around me. So let yourself do little splashing and let yourself energetically sink down into the pool as much as you want to or need to, so that you're experiencing love surrounding you. And I want to review a couple of basics of the loop of awareness, where you're all of the different ways that you can use your attention. So mostly we're aware of using your attention like pointedly. So I'd like you to first start that, like you're pointing your attention out at something, and then you're pointing it back at you, just to notice how it feels to do pointy attention. For me, it always reminded me of when someone would use my full name, and then I knew I would go into a freeze. So notice what kind of pointy attention did you learn? And let yourself point your attention out at something and notice what's your experience of connecting. Can you really connect when you're pointy? So just notice. And when you're pointy toward you, when I'm pointy toward me, I experience that as criticism. So pointy is how we usually like pay attention. So I want to share with you, and I'd like you to just review some of the delicious ways of using your attention. So what I was pointing with, I'm now going to open, and I'd like you to imagine your attention like a fan. So you can fan it out and you can fan it back to you so that you can give yourself the breeze of love and let your outer world fanning your attention so that you're including and letting all of what's going on around you be part of your experience. So that's going, and sometimes you do want to be pointed like, stop. You want to be able to point your attention, but I also want you to know that there are just so many wonderful ways of using your attention as a nutrient. And then one other one that I really like is to use the image of, I'm going to use a scarf that your attention can land on you as softly as a scarf. And it can land out in the world as softly as a scarf. So I used to, when I was practicing in groups as a dance movement therapist, I used to use a parachute. An old parachute was giant, and we could include everybody in it. So just imagine you're in here and we're all inside here, and we're letting love and attention float over us and around us. So let yourself play with that, of the energy of all of the different ways you can expand your love and attention, giving it to you, giving it to others. And the other aspect of attention is you can give your attention to opposites. So I'd like you to notice, you can move your feet in your pool just to remember you have all of that love that's nourishing you. like your roots are in love, and that love is moving up through your body and then out into the world, that your attention can really include all kinds of opposites. So I'd like you, as you're giving attention out, I'd like you to let your attention actually land on something that's going on in the world that you've been not facing. I'd like you to just go ahead and give attention to that, and then bring your awareness, your attention back in you to some aspect of you that you're going, ew, if I could just get rid of that, then I'd be able to love myself. And go ahead and give your loving attention as a fan, as a scarf, to that part of you. You could even load it into the pool. I've known kids who have, a bazillion toys in the pool with them. So if you want to add it into the pool, go ahead and do that. And I also would like to invite you to add the hmm. The hmm is a wonderful way to include opposites. So I'm angry, and I'm sad, and I'm also excited. So notice you can be feeling all of those different things you can be in the same space with. That's really what your attention is letting yourself be in the same space with. So humming out, and literally make a that you enjoy, and letting that land in you in some area that you've been trying to put away or control or make less than it used to be. And I'd like you to let yourself give attention to, when you're looking out, giving attention to what's behind. And then when you bring attention back to you, what's in back of you. And when you're giving your awareness out, what's under. And when you're giving attention back to you, what's under, what's underneath. And humming that, humming and enjoying. And then let's do some big love scoops where you're reaching down, because you've had your feet in the pool and you've been bubbling the pool for a while. So reach into the pool and bring some love, and close your eyes for a moment and notice where is that love wanted, and give that to yourself with touch and with sound. And with any kind of movement. We've got love scoops, but you can also add in oozing or wiggling or sumo. So you can sumo in your pool. You can let your feet wiggle in your pool and let that wiggling come on up out of you, and then scoop out, letting that love scoop be delivered. Like I'm seeing somebody walking across the street, and I'm going to deliver a love scoop all the way out to her. I think it's a her. And then back to you, so that you're feeling also then the rhythm of how you give attention out and how you give attention in. And play with that a little bit, interrupt it a little bit, so that you're going faster or slower, or creating a rhythm, so that it can be, you can have a jazzy loop of awareness. You can have a salsa. You could do a classical music loop. You could do a rap loop, looping it out and looping it in. And notice what rhythm really allows you to locate, to feel, here I am with myself. I can be with me, and I can be with all of these opposites, and I can be with what's going on. So filling our own reservoir, inviting people into the pool, inviting opposites of ourselves into the love pool. I invite you to let yourself keep playing with that this week. And thank you so much for your presence, and thank you for being here, and much love to all of you until we meet in the ethers again.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Bye, Katie. Bye, Michelle.
Bye.
Bye.
Love you so much. Have a wonderful week.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.